Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Wanted to talk to you about something that I think is severely wrong with the auto industry. And I'm gonna point out a YouTube channel that I think is great to go check out. I'll just start right here. It's Lucky Lopez. Great channel about the auto industry. I wanna talk about the auto industry. I'm out here in front of a dealership, and I gotta be honest with you, I have been trying for quite some time to find people inside the auto industry, and Lucky's one of them. I've texted, messaged multiple times trying to get him on an interview. He's got a great channel, and I just haven't heard back from them. And I don't take any offense to that, but you know, I'm going around town talking to dealers and trying to get an interview with auto dealers, both in used and new, and everybody clams up. Everybody freaks out. And let me tell you a story about something I just did. So I was at a dealership, a vehicle dealership in town, a new dealership that literally has still very little inventory. Whereas you see a lot of places are starting to get a lot of inventory, right? Inventory buildup. And I wanted to interview them about that. Like, why are they having such a hard time getting inventory? What's the sales situation like? Things like that. And they clammed up like instantaneously. They said, well, what do you mean we're having a hard time getting inventory? And I said, well, in the 10 years that I've been watching your dealership, there is literally 1/10 of the inventory. And as other dealers are picking up an inventory, you still have not. And he got totally ticked off. And you could tell he just like shut down. Now, ironically, I know this sales manager from another store, and I had to ask some inquisitive questions because I tried buying a Kia Stinger from them, and literally in the course of a week, I saw 3 of them go through, get turned in, and then go straight to wholesale. And I asked this sales manager, I'm like, you know I'm looking for one. Why aren't you calling me? He goes, I don't even want to deal with that stuff. And so I asked him today, as he's already ticked off, you know, hey, why is that the case? Why would you have customers telling salesmen and women that they want this kind of car, and you're getting those cars in? As a matter of fact, the reason why I knew it is because the salesman that I was dealing with actually turned in his leased Stinger. And he goes, well, I don't want to deal with it. You have no idea what you're referring to because there's all these costs. He kept doing all this stuff. And I said, well, why didn't you call me? And he goes, I don't want to over mark up the car. I said, why didn't you call me and say, hey, I've got one. I'm going to have to do this, this, and this to it. And I want to sell it for this much. I'd have to sell for this much to you, but I have to get it road ready. And if there's dings or dents or all that stuff, or at least give me a shot at going, can I just buy it as is? He said, well, I don't want to deal with that stuff. I said, you know what's funny? I think that a lot of things that happen in the auto industry are because of the people in the auto industry. I believe that you are seeing a lot of dealers where pride comes before a fall. They're prideful, they've seen tons of sales, and now they're falling off of a cliff, and they have no idea what's coming before them. You know, a lot of these dealers had to lay off people because they just literally simply didn't have the inventory in the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, to sell people, so they didn't need the employees, so they laid people off. And now they're about to get a glut of inventory. And a lot of these dealers are gonna have to make decisions. Well, we're not selling a ton of units, but we wanna be able to try and stay in good favor with the companies that make these cars. So we need to buy stuff. And where are flooring costs now as opposed to where are they gonna be 6 months from now or a year from now? You know, as mortgage rates go up, credit card debt goes up, all these debts go up, the interest rates on them go up, the buyer is getting tapped out, and there's less and less people on these lots. As a matter of fact, this lot is completely empty as far as people looking at cars. And a lot of dealers, I think it's gonna sneak up on them. And a lot of people don't understand how that works. Just like how the construction company, the Great Recession snuck up on them, right? And I think that's gonna happen. But what blows me away is just trying to get people to interview and how they clam up and they, you know, and nobody can seem to make a decision for themselves. Matter of fact, I was just at a tire store where I wanted to do a story, and it'll probably come out soon on, I don't know if it came out already or not, on Yokohama tires and how they had a blowout 2022 year. Well, of course they did, because they're charging more for their tires, right? It's not because there were more flat tires in a year, but they had a blowout year. And I went to a tire dealer that I love because they just have always treated me really good. I said, look, I'll give your company a shout out. Can I just film right in front of your store? And they just clam up like you wouldn't believe, because people don't have the guts to stand up and go, yeah, let's do this. You know, it'll get you all this free publicity. It'll be a great story. But it really does, it's interesting. I mean, I've been emailing a handful of people in the auto industry that have given great comments in these videos. And I said, hey, can you email me? I want to talk to you. And so I try and get them on a Zoom because I need to vet them. I need to make sure you're actually in the industry. Who do you work for? And I get that you don't want to talk about how bad the industry and put your company name on it, I won't do it. But like, they're like, I won't even get on a Zoom. I'm like, well, then there's no way, a Zoom like with just me and that person so I could vet them, right? There's no way I'm gonna go put your stories out online if I can't vet you. The ones I've done where I've talked to people in the industry and I can say it, cool, I'll say it. But I'd love to get real interviews. And so, you know, here in California, you know, obviously we're our own different type of animal with rules and regulations and taxes and fees that a lot of states don't have to deal with, thank heavens. But, you know, I would love to interview people, but it's just interesting the times we're in where people don't have the guts to actually go out and do an interview. It's like, it's okay to say, can you imagine this? Can you imagine a dealer that went out and say, yeah, sales are down? Well, and then I ask, well, what are you planning on doing to sell more cars? Well, and this would be a great idea for any of you guys that have an auto dealership. Well, we're gonna stop selling people on those crappy markups like 3M paint protection and door ding protection and all this crap that they don't need, but we've been ripping them off for years. Well, that'd be an awesome interview. As a matter of fact, if you would come out and actually do that as a dealer, and I put you out here on the video, shoot, you'd probably get a bunch of customers cruising in and saying, why would I go to this dealer when I could go to this next town over and this dealer's not marking up cars, not trying to literally just screw the consumer, and literally they're not adding all this other crap. If you would like it, we would love to put it on for you, but we're not gonna force that on you. The last new car I bought, we were forced because it was the only one around and they put all this extra stuff on there. And I said, I don't want any of that extra stuff. And they said, sorry, it's still on it, you're gonna pay it. Like, wow. Unbelievable. If you found a dealer that was just straightforward and honest, you know, like I love those tire shops that literally they price the tire, that's out the door. We're not gonna sit there, oh, valve stem, you're gonna need air. Oh, do you want like a special air? Do you want purified air in your tire? Oh, that's gonna be extra. You should put purified air in the tire because if it blows, then Mother Nature just enjoys it. Oh my gosh. Price the cars right. Price them honestly. You will sell so many units, it's insane. I got a buddy that's got a GM dealer, a Chevy dealership down in Southern California, and I wish I could get down there and interview him. I wanna see people change the market. And the very few that would stand up and go, hey, you know what? We're gonna do upfront pricing. We're not gonna add any of these add-ons, but we'll put an a la carte menu. If you like them, man, we're there for you. But we're gonna blow out so many units because we're upfront and honest that we're gonna get units next year so much cheaper from the dealer. We're gonna be favored. Shoot, we'll probably become a wholesaler or a outlet center. That's what you do. That's the out-of-the-box thinking that we need dealerships to have, especially if these dealerships even had an idea that we're coming into literally a move similar to the Great Depression because of a currency collapse. They might start thinking differently because a lot of these places, they're gonna be out of business. And to be honest with you, eventually these prices are gonna fall because there's not gonna be anyone to buy them. And they're gonna have to liquidate them at a loss because their carrying costs or flooring costs are just out of control because the Federal Reserve keeps raising rates. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. I know it's a little bit of a rant, but it's like just trying. I love the auto industry. I love cars. I really do enjoy cars. I'd love to get my hands on people that would actually have the guts to do interviews, especially in person, but no, I guess that's just not gonna happen. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.